Travelers Prince come to you from the Cineverse, and today I'm talking mentors. Now, a lot of people don't like to learn from mentors. Well, I always think you should learn from some mentors. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why in this video and how, if you learn from mentors, how it can greatly increase you, and even talk about some of the ways how you can get mentors. Now, the first thing I want you to think about when it comes to mentors, and they help you cross the gap. They help bridge the gap of knowledge, not just things that you learn in the book. It's almost like these little emotional anchors or lessons that you have to learn, that you have to go through pain in order to really cement them in your head. And let me tell you, I've made so many mistakes in business. I mean, just thinking about it now, it's just stuff that when I look back, I just couldn't. I can't believe at this point that I made these type of mistakes. And you know you've made a mistake because you're sitting there looking like, well, what the hell did I do? But what I found when it comes down to mentors is that they kind of help you get past these things. I heard a quote. I don't actually remember where this quote was from, but they said, yeah, you have to make mistakes, but there's no rule. I think it's actually Warren Buffett, to be honest with you. There's no rule, hard rule, that it has to be your own. And that's what really mentors help you do. So what I want to talk about in this video is the three type of mentors that I've found. And then I'll talk about how you can kind of gain some mentors just from how I've gained some mentors recently. So the first type of mentor that we have is what I would call a mentor of knowledge. So this is somebody who's very smart. You may have a mentor of knowledge around you, somebody you look at and you say, well, you know what? They know a lot of stuff. They're very smart as far as facts and maybe telling you strategies and book smart. More book smart, I guess you could say. And then on the second type of person you have, the second type of mentor you have is the experienced mentor. They don't really read a lot. They don't really take time to check their stuff against anything else. They've just had so much practical experience that they actually just know a lot of stuff. My uncle, he passed away a couple years ago, but that's what he was. He was like a mentor of experience. I mean, he's a really funny guy, like hilarious. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like the funniest guy, most outspoken person in my entire family. Like if you walked in a house and you talked to him, he would just be like, he would make you feel welcome. He was one of those type of people, but he had so much practical experience in life. He had done so many things. He had been so many places. He used to play in like a rock band. And I remember talking to him. I used to enjoy our conversations. Me and him used to talk about things like space and astronomy, but he had so much practical experience that I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from him just because he had so much practical experience, right? And that's what I call a mentor of experience. They're not necessarily somebody who's read up a lot of stuff. They don't have a lot of factual knowledge. They can't tell you this is what this term means and what this fact means, but they can tell you a lot about life because they've actually went out and experienced life. So I love to learn from both these type of mentors, knowledge mentors. I mean, knowledge mentors, I kind of think of that's a lot how books are, right? A book is like being fed the knowledge directly. That's like a knowledge mentor, right? But then I found that there's one more type of mentor. There's a third type of mentor. And this is what I like to call the master mentor. The master mentor. Now, what is the master mentor? Now, it's not some type of crazy cult thing. I mean, you might be looking at me like, what? Oh, here we go. Here it goes. Here it goes. Here's when the video turns weird, right? The master mentor is like somebody coming with a cloak on their head, or they got some type of secrets that the world doesn't know. It's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about with a master mentor is somebody who has been able to infuse the two. Now, if you're mentoring somebody, of course, you want to try to become a master mentor. This doesn't mean that you've had 35 plus years of experience, but it definitely helps. And it doesn't mean that you've read all the books on the subject, but it definitely helps if you read a lot or you're knowledgeable. This is what you want to get. And so I found this when talking to some of the mentors I've come in contact with lately. I got a guy that's working for a water company. His name's Robert. He's one of my mentors. And then I got Matthew Knowles. I mean, y'all know him, Beyonce's dad. That's one of my mentors too. And when I'm talking to these people, I found that these are more master mentors because when you talk to them in person, regardless of what you hear about people, and that's another thing. Don't judge people by what you hear on media because a lot of times when you meet people in person, they're not like you think they are. I mean, really, you're taking the perception of somebody and you're saying, well, I'm going to think this about them because somebody else told you. I've never been one to want to take secondhand knowledge, but that's just my 2 cents. I know I'm getting off track a little bit, but basically, when I met them, I understand that master mentors, they kind of know both, right? They have a mixture of the two. Now, everybody has their strengths, everybody has their weaknesses, but what I'm saying is that definitely I have my weak. Let me tell you, some of this, like right now, even to get up every day is so hard sometimes. When I hear the alarm clock going off, I actually set my alarm to, like, you can have these alarms where you have math, where you have to solve math to get up. I have to do that to get up because I want to sleep all day, like really. But I mean, I get up and do it because I know I have to. I mean, you have to get up and get to work. But what I found out about these master mentors is that they mix the two. They help you bridge the gap of weaknesses because not only can they explain it from the experience level, right? They've experienced it. They went out and they've done the practical things. Like, I'm a person who loves entrepreneurship, so a lot of the mentors that I seek out, they're people who know a lot about entrepreneurship, right? And you'll just see the difference. I've had mentors in the past. So I've had people in the past who've done one side, which is they've studied a lot or they've gained a lot of knowledge. But when you get a master mentor, that's when you can really see some growth, because now what's happening is that they're teaching you from both sides, both angles. So yeah, you're learning the practical thing about, why you need to work with if you're trying to be a leader, how you need to lead your team, but you're also learning concepts like what are cost of goods, how to calculate your costs. You know what I'm saying? What is present value cost, and how you do profit and loss statements. You're learning both sides of the business because this is like a master mentor, right? And that's one of the things that you have to understand as far as trying to seek out different type of mentors. Because sometimes people just want mentors that have all experience, right? I only want somebody who's been through it, who's been in the grind. They know what it is, right? They've been in the trenches. They've been fighting. That's the only mentors I want. And then some people are like, well, if they're not knowledgeable, if they're not somebody who knows every term and they know what to call every concept and they've read every book, then I can't learn anything from them. But there's rare that you actually find these master mentors, and they're the people who are in the hardest supply. They're the hardest to get to. So I promised that I would talk about how I found that you can get these master mentors and kind of share a little story about how I got my first millionaire mentor. And I mean, we'll see the results of it, but I can tell it's definitely helped me a lot. Now, one of the ways to get mentors is you have to be completely value oriented. What I mean by this, you have to come to these people not asking for a handout. If you come to somebody who's a master level mentor and you're trying to get a handout, they're going to immediately reject you. And why is this? There's a very simple, very practical reason. Is because everybody's trying to take something from them. Everybody. I mean, it's just like if you ever go to a club or something. I often, I work with Will Powell, the nightlife architect, and at the club, I always see guys in there talking to girls or whatever. But if I'm in there working or helping, you're sitting in there, you're seeing some girls, especially the very beautiful girls, they're getting talked to maybe 50, 60 times a night, and everybody's coming saying the exact same thing to them. And you would think everybody, because what are they like? It's just like the high-level entrepreneur. They're in high demand, so everybody wants something from them. So they're used to somebody trying to take something from them, right? But on the opposite end of the spectrum, what are they not used to? What value can you give? So I remember when we first went in the meeting with Matthew Knowles, the first thing, we didn't come in, me and Will went in there, and we didn't come in saying, well, what can I take from this person? What can I get? I'm going to listen to rumors. I'm going to say something about them. What can I give? How can I help this person? How can I help this person? And what I find is when you talk to master mentors, a lot of times they want to give the knowledge. They want to help you. They want to do these things. What they don't want is you to come in trying to take something, asking for a handout. And I think that's what you have to understand. Anybody you want to mentor, anybody you're seeking out, think about how you can help them. Think about how you can help them along their journey, help them build their business, help them help more people, do some behind the scenes work, whatever you have to do. And what you'll find is over time, these people will kind of come to know you as somebody who they can rely on, somebody they can depend on, and they want to help you. They'll give you all kinds of help that you wouldn't expect. And you'll be like, wow. But it also comes from value first. So I want to say one more thing, and it's about value, because it just made me, I just thought about it as I said it. Really, with most things, you want to think about what value can give. A lot of us, and I've had this problem in the past too, so it's something that a lot of us face. I mean, if you don't, that's good. I mean, and count yourself lucky. But we think about ourselves so much, and in whenever we're doing something, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? What can I take from this situation? That we don't think about how it affects others, right? But if we go into every situation thinking, what can I take? What can I take? A lot of people don't want to be around us. Why would you want to be around somebody who can take? Have you ever had somebody who's around you, you can just tell that they almost don't look at you as a person? they're talking to you, and it just feels, I don't know, it just feels like they're not a real person, not there. They ask you all kind of questions, and they're asking you. You can tell they want to take something from you because they think maybe that there's something you could give them that they can't give themselves. So when it comes to business, when it comes to life, and a lot of people miss this when it comes to business. And in the past, I've definitely missed this. Is what value can you give? Because if you're helping other people and you're fulfilling things in their life, it's not going to be hard for you to get people to want to work with you. It's not going to be hard for you to go find these mentors, not hard as you think. But you have to understand that a lot of people out there are trying to get mentorship from people. And I always seek out mentors. I always seek out more mentors. And that's why I'm always reading or always learning. But I'm also thinking, what value can I give? If I meet somebody who's one of the people I want to meet in business, or one of the people who have the type of success that I want to get to, or the level I want to reach, when I meet them, I'm not going to come to them and say, hey, teach me this. I've got this problem in my business. Tell me how I can help. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Because what is it all saying? Me, solve my problem. And how many people do you think are coming up asking them that same thing? So I want to think about that. Give value. And I know this video got a little bit about off track, I guess you could say, but the things I want you to remember is basically just, there's three types of mentors. Be able to learn from all of them. Somebody who's got knowledge, just learn the facts that they're teaching you, because even if it's somebody who hasn't experienced them, the facts may be good because they read it somewhere, and that's definitely from somebody who has experienced it. Second, if it's somebody who's experienced, learn from them too. Don't just go get so caught up on if they know every little term or if they know what every little concept's called. If they know how to do something and they produce results, there's somebody you should listen to too, because they have the experience. And hopefully you'll find one of those master mentors, one of those people who can help you on all levels, and you definitely should seek those out. But always remember, give more value. Always try to give more value than you take when it comes to anything, any person, any transaction, and just treat them as a real person, because they're a real person. Like and subscribe for more.